What I'm going to show you now, very interesting, significant Bible code tables to do with Chanukah. But what I'm going to speak about is the Kabbalistic explanation for the letter skip number. And I think this is the most important idea about what codes are. That in fact codes are going together with Kabbalah, with Zohar, and I think when people have patience to look at what I'm showing you, because I did it in Hebrew, didn't translate it to English, so I try to explain to you exactly what you see here. So people will really pay attention, will concentrate. It might be difficult. They will find your diamonds, because it is really unbelievable phenomena which nobody can argue with, because statistically to have this it is 1 to millions. And then you will see, you will have another insight about what codes are. So as I said, I hope that some people will have the patience to look into it. Even though it's in Hebrew, I try to explain to you what you see here. It will take a long time, but it's worthwhile really concentrating, try to pay attention to it and to try to see what is behind. So the first thing, what you see here, very famous table, already showed it. This is the table about, you can see on top, the title, Chanukah and Azmonai. You know who was Azmonai? Matityahu. Now, this is basically the table which was found by Doron Vissum, definitely famous. He was working in the beginning with Professor Rips about code, did the research. So what he found in the book of Genesis, Aleph is Genesis, and he found in few chapters really, Lamed Vav, Lamed Zayin, 36, 37, 38, part of it, the following. He found the word in green, Chanukah. Chanukah, the Chanukah. Now this is, we see later, minimal, this is a minimal in Genesis, minimal. And then he found Azmonian, Chashmonai in purple, Azmonian, Chashmonai. Then he found the names of some of the Azmonian, which is Shimon and Judah, and I found Matityahu, parallel. And here interesting, the question, Mi Maccabi, who is a Maccabi? So the answer is Shimon and Judah and Matityahu, and here Maccabi. So this is really the table basically found by Doron Vissum, addition that I found Matityahu, Maccabi. And this is a table which was done with Professor Rips. I did with him a book in Hebrew. And he refined also that Mi Maccabi, this sentence, a minimal, the first meaning of the Torah, and so on. Now, the most important point that I'm going to speak about is about the letter skip numbers. So you can see on top 262, which means that from letter to letter, Chanukah is 262 letters, like from A to Chet, Chanukah, Nun Kof. Yeah, 262. Now, Hazmaniah, Chashmonai, definitely has more. You can see there is a line in between. So it means it is double the amount. It means double the amount in 262, double 2. Yeah, it is 574. So remember, these are the two numbers here, 264, 2 and 574. Now, what really comes here in this number, this is what you see in the table, but I concentrated on these names, on Chanukah, which you saw before, which is every 262, and Azmoniah, Chashmonai, which is a double, which is 5 124, and menorah also, this is the same skip, also to 523, because you see, it's not straight, so one less, one more. So this is 525, and this is 523. Basically, it is exactly between 524. Okay, so you have here the skip. Now I'm going to speak about numbers and how exactly Kabbalah tells us what are those numbers. It is unbelievable. Many people manage to follow it. By the way, it is interesting that the location of these tables in a few chapters, we said in Genesis, and the story is with Joseph ben Shvaesre, we know the whole story of Joseph has to do with the Greeks, with the story of Chanukah, because Joseph repents the righteousness and holiness and sanctity, Antiochus, and Greeks are exactly the opposite. They fought against the Torah, fought against the holiness of Joseph, and this is why the Gematria, numerical value of the king of Javan, Antiochus, is 156. And king of Javan, Matityahu also the king of Javan, also of Greece also. Again, Yosef, interesting. So now, we are going to discuss about these three things, yeah? So again, you see, put it to think for you clear, that you will see everything. Alright, this is how it comes. All this table, this is how it works. This is how normally I put all the letters skipped here and the tables, and then we are going to discuss here. Okay, step by step. Now, so here, it's telling you that this table is taken from the book in Hebrew of Doron Vissung, page 41. This is called Amimad Anusaf, the extra dimension. So, let us see now what this is really. I give you clear picture, minimal and good meetings of everything which makes a table code significant. So every Chanukah is minimal in Genesis, second in the altar. In Genesis, then comes here, the skip is 262, remember, yeah? Then you have here double 524, which is Azmonia, right? And then menorah. So Azmonia, Hashmonah is in skip of 525, and menorah is 523, and then Maccabeus, so the minimum the Torah, who is a Maccabeus we saw, then the name Shimon and Judah and Matityahu also comes here, and then the story is interesting, the story about Joseph and all this. Now, what comes here with the letter skip, and this is unbelievable, yeah? So there is a book which is called Keilat Yaakov, and the book is really, the title of the book is the opening of the key to the doctrine of Kabbalah. The key of the doctrine of Kabbalah is Keilat Yaakov, and there he speaks about the word chen, grace. It's very interesting that all the Chanukah, the first word of Chanukah is really Kabbalistically has to do with a chen, with grace, yeah, with grace, chen. We find about Joseph, we found favor, grace in the eyes of Pharaoh, and the same thing, find favor, which is grace, in the eyes of the minister of the butchers. So grace, chen, has very significant meaning in Kabbalah. Chen also, the abbreviation of chen is Chokhmat Nistar, hidden wisdom, and also the letter chet represents something above nature, because chet is numerical value 8 above 7, and nun is 50 is above 49 above 7. So chen, very, very significant word, and has to do with Joseph, because chen is something which is reflection of the righteous people. Righteous people is kind of chen, of grace. So this book, which is called Keilat Yaakov, key to the opening, so it says the following. It tells us about the full gematria of the word chen. Now if you remember, in my book of gematria, there are different ways of gematria. There is small one, there is middle one, and there is a full one. It means when you write the letters fully, like chen, the letter chet, if you write it fully, is chet yud taf. You see, chet yud taf. And if you write the letter nun fully, is nun vav nun. So this is the chet, the grace chen, fully written with the letters, which come to 524. Amazing. Remember this number, 524. This is exactly the table, double. Now, says the Keilat Yaakov. By the way, it is important to remember that the menorah candlestick was 523, one before, and Azmonai was one more, 525. But the middle one is 524. So, this is what the skips, the numbers of the skip. Now, what are these numbers? Says Keilat Yaakov, this book, key to the doctrine of Kabbalah, it says the following. This number, Chen 524, is sentence which says the following. This one, tzaddik, a righteous person, who is a foundation of the world, because the world stands on righteousness, purity. In Kabbalah, foundation is the sphere of Joseph, not to be called Yesod, foundation, purity. So the gematria of the word chen, grace, is the gematria of Zet Tzaddik Yesod Olam, the righteous person with the foundation, but with addition to 32. 32 is the number of ways of, it's called in Kabbalah, Netivot Chokhmah, the channels, that 32 channels of wisdom, like we have 32 thieves, according to Kabbalah, the same idea. Then you have 50 gates of understanding, 50. Right? So it means you have here wisdom and understanding. So why it has to do with the righteous, with Joseph, with the righteous? The Torah says about Joseph, when Pharaoh saw how clever he is, he said, En chacham v'navon kamocha, is no wise and understanding like you. It means he said about Joseph, which was very righteous, you are a man of wisdom and understanding. Right? This was Joseph are. So this way I have to have 32 channels of wisdom and 50 of this. Together, the count is, you can see here, the word are Zet Tzaddik Yesod Olam, this is the righteous one with the foundation of the world, 32 and 50, comes to 524. It means the skip of the letters of the Azmonai and Menorah, and all this about Chanukah, is indication to do with the righteous one, which is the Yosef, a man of understanding and so on, which is exactly what so that Yosef had to do. Now we'll go a step further, and we are going now to see more in this table. So we saw Chanukah, Matityahu, Maccabite, Azmonai, Menorah, and here the number is 262. So about number 524 we discussed. But what is 262? Unbelievable. So 262 is the gematria of Aaron. You see Aaron? Aaron written fully. Minimum in the Torah you have Aaron, and all I have to do with Chanukah, because he was kindling in the temple the menorah, right? Which has in it the hidden light, yeah? You know, written that the menorah in the temple was shining from the hidden light, and the same thing is about Chanukah also, hidden light. So Aaron was this one who married to get also the kingdom of Chanukah. It's very interesting. Medrash, we're going to go into it now, but it's interesting. So you have a minimal to Aaron, the Aaron, fully written with Vav. Now, what is the gematria of Aaron? Yeah, so look, Aaron 262, exactly like the skip of this table. And what are Aaron? Aaron have the same letter like the or of the 50. The or of the 50 gates of understanding, which is basically the hidden light. So, looking on this table, unbelievable. 262, Aaron, the hidden light, Hazmanai, everything of this, and then doubling the letters come to this sentence, this is the righteous one with the foundation of the world, and with the third 22 channels of wisdom and fifth understanding with the basis. And this is exactly what Joseph, what he represents. So, I don't know, I hope that people manage to follow it, but I think if people follow it properly, can repeat and look again and again. That I don't know, somebody can argue with this, yeah? You have such small table, 262, yeah? Chanukah and all this minimal. I mean, this is, I said many times that the program that I'm using is Dr. Rothenberg, who scientists came from Washelak. Professor Rips shows him the phenomenon. He saw and became Orthodox Jews. He wrote a book in English, All His Truth, about it. And he says, if it is minimal, like here minimal in Genesis, by the way, the one Visum use only Genesis. So this is minimal, this is best meeting. What you need more than this is minimal. So, as I said, very, very interesting, very, very significant, and tell you exactly how much is behind Torah code, Bible code. So, really, for Chanukah, you have, I think, very, very interesting tables, which really, I'll tell you, I don't know how to explain it. It is so clear, the skips have a full Kabbalistic meaning. So, no, have a good Chanukah, enlighten Chanukah. I think this table can enlighten a lot, the Chanukah.